كنت تعانق دمعة الفكر تناجي الله في صبر وترجو رحمة تسري، فعاش القلب إخلاصا وصرت تحوم كالطير تحلق في ثقافات وتنهل من ربى الخير. ترى ما زلت تذكرها وتذكر روعة الذكر، فيهدي القلب ألحانا شذاها يفوح بالصدر، ويصفو العلم راقراقا ويسقي دوحة العمر، فيمحو الكون ظلمته وتشرق بسمة الفجر.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again to another Arabic lesson on العربية للناشئين كتاب الثاني book 2. In today's lesson, we are going to look at الدرس السابع, that is lesson 7. And the topic of this lesson is في البيت. في البيت means in the house. So today, inshallah, we are going to start a new chapter, which is Al-Wahdatu Al-Thalitha, that is chapter 3. So here we have Al-Hiwaru, that is the conversation. So today's conversation is going to be between Umar and Ahmad. So here we have Umaru, then Ahmadu. So Umar begin by saying, Masa'ul Khayri. This means good evening. Masa'ul Khairi means good evening. So Ahmad, he responded by saying Masa'un Nuri, that is good evening as well. So when someone tells you Masa'ul Khair, good evening, you're going to reply by saying Masa'un Nur, which means good evening as well. So Umar, he further said, Liman hadhihi surah. This means who owns this picture. As-surah means the picture. Liman hadhihi surah, who owns this picture. So Ahmad responded by saying, hadhihi suratu li'ailati. This means this picture is for my family. Hadhihi suratu li'ailati. This picture is for my family. So Umar, he further asked, he said, Man hadha. This means, who is this? So here Umar is trying to ask about some persons in the picture. So he began by saying, Man hadha, who is this? Then Ahmad responded by saying, Hadha walidi. This means, this is my father. So al-walid means the father. And to say my father, you're going to say walidi, by attaching ya to the end of the word. So hadha walidi, this is my father. So Umar further asked, he said, Madha yaf'alu. This means, what does he do? Like, what is his occupation? So Ahmad, he responded by saying, Huwa yaghsilu sayyarah. That means he washes the car. Huwa yaghsilu sayyara, he washes the car. So Umar also asked, he said, Waman hadhihi, and who is this? So Ahmad said, Hadhihi walidati. This is my mother. So al-walid is the father, then al-walidatu is the mother. So to say my mother, you're going to say walidati, my mother. Hadhihi walidati, this is my mother. So Umar, he further asked, he said, Madha taf'al. This means, what does she do? So remember when we are referring to al-walid, we said Madha yaf'al. So now when we are referring to the female, we are going to change the ya to ta. So we are going to say Madha taf'al, what does she do? So Ahmad responded by saying, Hiya tunadhifu al-hadiqata. This means she tidy the garden. Al-hadiqa means the garden. Hiya tunadhifu al-hadiqa. She tidy up the garden. Umaru وَمَنِ الَّذِي يَتَنَاوَلُ الْقَهْوَةَ, that is, and who is taking the coffee. وَمَنِ الَّذِي يَتَنَاوَلُ الْقَهْوَةَ, and who is taking the coffee. So Ahmad, he said, هَذَا جَدِّي, this is my grandfather. So Umar also asked, he said, وَمَنِ الَّتِي تُشَاهِدُ التِّلْفِزِيُّونَ, and who is watching the television. So Ahmad, he responded and he said, هَذِهِ جَدَّتِي, this is my grandmother. So Jaddu means the grandfather, then Jaddatun is the grandmother. هَذِهِ جَدَّتِي, this is my grandmother. So this is the end of the little dialogue that is between Umar and Ahmad. So now let's quickly move on to the exercises that are below this first dialogue. So the first one, here we have an instruction that says Ajib. Ajib means answer. So number one, we have Limani Surah. This means who owns the picture. So if you could remember, the picture belongs to Ahmad's family. So we are going to say As-Suratu li Ailati Ahmada. That is, the picture is for Ahmad's family. So number two, we have Mada Yaf'alu Walidu Ahmada. This means, what does Ahmad's father do? So if you could remember, Ahmad's father washes the car. So here we are going to say Walidu Ahmada yaghsilu sayyarata. Walidu Ahmada yaghsilu sayyarata. That is, Ahmad's father washes the car. Man allati tunadhifu al-hadiqata, who cleans the garden, or who tidy up the garden. So here we are going to say tunadhifu al-walidatu al-hadiqata. That means the mother tidying up the garden. So number four, we have man alladhi yatanawalu al-qahwata. That is, who takes the coffee. So if you could remember, the grandfather takes the coffee. So you are going to say Al-Jaddu yatanawalu al-qahwata. The grandfather takes the coffee. So the last one we have Madha taf'alu jaddatuhu. This means, what does the grandmother do? So here we are going to say Jaddatuhu tushahidu tilfiziyuna. That is, the grandmother watches the television. So that is the end of the first exercise. So now the next one, here we have an instruction that says Istabdil kama fil mithal, that is, exchange according to the example. So here we have هذه الصورة لعائلتي. This picture is for my family. هذه الصورة لعائلتي. This picture is for my family. So in the example, al-mithal, we are provided with two words which are qalamun, pen, and walidun, father. So we are going to use these two words to create a brief sentence. So here we are going to say هذا القلم لوالدي. That is, this pen is for my father. So in the exercise, number one, we are provided with two new words which are sa'atun, that is clock or wristwatch, then walidatun, mother. So here we are going to say هذه الساعة لوالدتي. This wristwatch is for my mother. Number two, we have kitabun and akhun. So here we are going to say هذا الكتاب لأخي. This book is for my brother. So number three, we have haqibatun and ukhtun. So here we are going to say هذه الحقيبة لأختي. That is, this bag is for my sister. So that is how we are going to complete this exercise. So now let's move on to the next exercise. And here we have an instruction that says Hati as'ilatan. Bring questions kama fil mithali, according to the example. So here we have al-mithal, that is the example. يتناول القهوة, that is he's taking the coffee. So from this statement, they want us to extract some possible questions from it. So firstly, we can say من الذي يتناول القهوة, that is who is taking the coffee, or we can also say من التي تتناول القهوة, who is taking the coffee, that is referring to the female. The first one is used to refer to the male, then the second one is used to refer to the female. So in the exercise, the number one, we have the statement yaktubul wajib, that is he is writing the homework. So the possible question we can extract from this is man alladhi yaktubul wajib, who is writing the homework, or then that is for the male. Then as for the female, we are going to say man allati taktubul wajib, who is writing the homework. So number two, we have yaqra'ul kitab, that is he is reading the book. So here we could say man alladhi yaqra'ul kitaba, who is reading the book, or man allati taqra'ul kitaba, who is reading the book. So number three, we have yaghsilu sayyara, that is he's washing the car. So number one, we could say man alladhi yaghsilu sayyarata, who is washing the car for the male. Then man allati taghsilu sayyarata, who is washing the car for the female. So this is how we are going to complete this exercise. So now let's move on to the last exercise on this lesson. And here we have an instruction that says ajri al-hiwara, run the conversation kama fil mithali, according to the example. So al-mithal, in the example we are provided with two words which are walidun and al-maktaba. Walidun means father, then al-maktaba means the library. So as for the first word walidun, we are going to ask the question man hadha, who is this? They will respond by saying hadha walidi, this is my father. Then as for al-maktaba, we are going to say madha yaf'alu, what does he do? Then we are going to say huwa yunadhifu al-maktabata, he is cleaning or tidying up the library. So that is the example. So in the exercise, the first one we have walidatun, mother, and al-matbakh, the kitchen. So as for walida, we are going to say man hadhihi, who is this? Then we'll respond by saying hadhihi walidati, this is my mother. Then as for al-matbakh, we are going to say madha taf'al, what does she do? Then hiya tunadhifu al-matbakha, she cleans or she tidying up the kitchen. So number two, we have akhun and al-ma'ida. So here we are going to begin by saying man hadha, who is this? Then we are going to respond by saying hadha akhi, this is my brother. Madha yaf'alu, what does he do? Huwa yunadhifu al-ma'idata, he cleans the table. So this is how we are going to complete this exercise. So with this, we've come to the end of the exercises that are below this dialogue, and also we have come to the end of today's lesson. We hope we enjoyed today's lesson. See you in our next lesson. Ma'a salamati, ila liqa.